Looks like we're going live to the backyard barbecue at Billie Eilish's house, or at least looks like it. Hi, Billie.
How you doing?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm just great. I'm just living my life, Here, let me do this for you.
There you
There
are.
we
Wait,
go.
that's not the
Yes.
same backyard that dog was pooping in when you were creating your video that I saw in the documentary, is it? No, it's not.
It is. It is indeed. Look,
Well, you
yeah,
redid it.
I'm at my parents' house, baby. Look, this is exactly where
Oh,
that
there's
was.
the house. Oh my gosh, it's like I'm in the movie right now.
This is where the chair was,
Exactly.
That's where the dog crapped.
and the
Yeah.
dog dropped right over here.
I have to say, it was like, just to go there for a minute, Billie, your remarkable focus while your dad was picking up dog poop, which we can all relate to, right? We're trying to do something, and the dog and our parents are doing something else. He just kept walking through the frame with the dog poop.
Yeah. You know what's funny is it started out as a dead rat that my cat killed, and then he was like, "Oh, I'll just use the same bag and pick up all the dog poop." So in that bag was a nice dead rat and a bunch of poop. So
While you're creating this visual, dream of yours, right?
yes, correct.
Well, I'm just thinking back to, there are a couple things that stand out when I think about you. One, I remember I was going through the airport right about the time I guess you were coming through, because I saw like not thousands, probably tens and tens of people, and they were so excited about something, and I was trying to figure out what was about to happen, and they told me that you were coming through, and I thought, wow, I wonder what that's like for somebody. And then I got to see how you spend really authentic, genuine time with the people that, you don't even call them fans, do you? But the people that really support you.
Yeah, that's something I miss so much, is just the in-person contact that I used to have with them. I'm
Yeah.
sure, it'll come back, but it is something that I've missed like most.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's a lot. It's a lot,
I know.
showing up anywhere and there's hundreds of people, but it's amazing. It's really like makes me feel very, very, very loved. So, I don't really have complaints,
Have you become more comfortable with some of the things you were most uncomfortable with early on?
Oh yeah. I was very insecure about fame. I was really just honestly didn't like it. I didn't want it. I didn't yeah, it's really weird to be in the mindset and the place that I am now, because I just used to be so not in this place of just, I hated it. I hated every aspect of fame. I didn't want any of it. I wanted a normal life. I wanted this, I wanted this, I wanted this. And all I did was complain. And
then it manifested into just
and then
that.
it manifested, and it just got to a place where I'm happy now and I feel confident in it. And it's dope. It's so nice to change, to just feel differently. I don't know. What a blessing to change.
Well, you're growing up. So that happens.
Yes, thank God, dude. Thank God.
Are you still living with the family there? She's rolling her eyes.
I don't know. Maybe.
Well, and recording in different places, I'm assuming now.
Yeah, we actually recorded this whole album in like my brother's studio, which is just a studio that he built in his house, in his basement. So yeah, I had to do this like audio liner for this thing, and they had me come into this like studio and like come into a booth and do it, and I was all nervous because I haven't sung in a booth in like 3 years. I don't.
Yeah.
Studios flip me out. I don't know what it is. I don't like darkness. Really, I want windows, and I want to see what time of day it is by just looking outside. And
so you don't work all night, like a lot of artists
No.
will just work when it's dark.
No, I don't. Honestly, the times when I feel the most inspired are in the middle of the day when it's raining. I don't know. But no, I don't. I can't.
And you're living in Southern California where there's a drought, so we need.
Yeah.
You need to go maybe to a rainier climate.
I know.
To be
I need
inspired.
a rain machine. I need to just buy a rain machine. And just...
Billie Eilish is with us. So Billie, I want you and Phineas. And by the way, Phineas is going to be mentoring on Idol this weekend, so I will see Phineas, which is cool.
Yeah, I didn't even know that until like the other day. They were like, "Oh, well, he's going to be on American Idol." I was like, "What?" We spent our childhoods watching that, every time it was on. Oh my God, we would vote on the phone. I'd get the home phone and boop, 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 over and over and over again. And I always was like, when I turn 16, I'm going to audition for American Idol. Swear to God.
Wow. You didn't need any help.
No, I didn't.
I'm curious, and I was going to ask him about this too. If you two weren't musically connect, like I love the respect and the closeness you guys have. I have one younger sister. That's it. That's all I got, right? So I look at your relationship, and I really, I respect the closeness you have. If you weren't musical together, would you have the same bond, you think?
It's a good question. I've spent time thinking about that. And I think we would, I can't say obviously because it's not reality, but I think we would get along and be friends. But I do think about, because we've actually had lots of conversations about, how lucky we are that we have most of the same interests, but we have enough of the same interests, but we don't have the same interests so much that it makes it a competition, which is really nice and kind of crazy that that's the reality, because there's so many parts of my life and career that Phineas couldn't want for 1 second. And so many parts of his life and his career I don't want. So it's a really, really nice balance. And we talk about it all the time about how lucky it is and how there's so many people and siblings that, don't have anything in common. And even if they're best friends and they get along really well, they don't see each other and they don't do the same stuff. So they just drift apart. So
yeah, it works for you guys. I'm going to take a break, come back with Billie Eilish. The bird in the background should be on an album somewhere because that is the perfect chirp that I'm hearing. So thank you for this book because it's my read. It's the kind of read for my speed that I can get
right.
through.
That's what I'm saying.
It is. It's imagery, right? It's imagery of her life with captions or liners underneath the photos and around the photos, and it's the kind of reading because if I read, I have to read twice. I have to read it and then read it again because my mind drifts. Yeah,
mine too. Exactly how you feel. That's why I did it. They were like, because we had a lot of choices to make for this book. Could have done anything really. I could have done a bunch of words and I can barely read. I can honestly barely read. I'm so bad. But I also I'm like you. My mind, I just can't. I have to read pages multiple times. And so, one little cute story, that's enough for me. My mind wanders and I get bored. So,
but do you like writing now more? Because I know that at one point you loathed writing.
I don't really write anymore. I don't write at all.
Do you still
I really
journal?
don't. I don't. I for my first album, the main thing I did was draw in my journal. Like I drew every single song and what it felt like and what it meant. And honestly, for this album, I didn't do that. I have maybe 2 drawings that I drew right before making a few songs that definitely inspired it. Like Your Power, I have a drawing of a girl getting wrapped with a snake. And we know that also happened, didn't it? And so that's one. And then I had one for my future, which is a bunch of stars in the moon before I made that video. But that's it,
your
really.
Your brain works visually. Your brain works in images.
It does. Yeah, it does. And that's why it's interesting that I didn't really draw for this one.
What do you picture then when you recorded the other songs?
I think that it just was so natural. I almost don't even remember. It was making this album was the most honestly therapeutic and satisfying and easy thing. It was really hard and it was a lot of work, but it just flowed out of me, I feel. And really for the first time ever, I did that because I usually have a really hard time making music, to be honest. It takes me a lot of effort. And for this one, I felt like I've just grown so much as a songwriter and as a singer that I'm getting better and better. I'm practicing. I started at 13. So, you see all the things that are Billie Eilish has a baby voice and she whispers. I'm like, yeah, I was a little girl, dude. I was a little girl.
She whispers.
Lay off.
I was literally a little girl.
Are you easier? You were really hard on yourself for a while. Are you easier on yourself now?
Not really. I think I like myself more, but I'm definitely still pretty much as hard as I used to be. But only, for certain things. I think that I've gotten happier in different ways. I just love growing. I just have loved it. I mean, getting older has been like the best thing to happen in my life. I just love it. I think that it's so great to grow up and like just be in control of your own life and like change. And then, your opinions change and your mind changes and you get happier, and then you get sadder, and then you get happier. Like, it's just so nice that we change. I just would hate to stay the same forever,
I'm watching Sisney and Tanya's eyes light up as you continue to talk about all of this. So
it's so true. It's so
It is
true.
so true.
I know. I love the age that you're at right now, because you're right. It's and you're going to be a different person in 10 years. So it's cool to see you evolve.
Yeah, I'm excited. I love it.
Well, let me say, Billie Eilish, you can check out Billie's book, Billie Eilish, out now. Her album, Happier Than Ever, is available for pre-order. And Billie, what are they telling you about when you're going to be able to perform in front of people again?
Well, we are, there's a few festivals that have been announced. I think that festivals are like the only thing that are the most realistic for the most recent. Well, that helicopter is really having a fun time.
There's birds and helicopters. It's Los Angeles.
Don't you love this?
It's LA.
Yeah.
It's totally LA.
Welcome to LA.
This is really ideal for you. I bet this is exactly what you wanted me to do.
It's perfect.
But, so LA. But no, September-ish is what we've been talking about. I mean, because it's announced. It's not a secret for like festivals and stuff. So I hope that will actually happen. With this, you don't really know what's going to happen, but I am very hopeful. And then, tour soon after that, hopefully. So
I'm psyched to hear about that. I'm psyched to hear about that. I want to see you in person again soon. And so happy that you're in this place. It's great. And we appreciate all the music that you're giving us. And the fact that, an old guy can relate to it and all of us can relate to it. It's pretty remarkable. Pretty cool. So thanks Billie. Great to see you. Take care, okay?
Great to see you. Thanks, guys.
Tell Phineas I'm psyched to see him.
I will. I miss you all.
Okay. Bye, Billie.
Bye.
Bye.